The myth of equal opportunity, why Black entrepreneurship demands more than aspiration. Thank you all for being here today. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge the incredible insights that shaped this talk. I recently had the profound privilege of interviewing Leon Moore, a revolutionary force in Black entrepreneurship whose work transcends traditional business advocacy. Leon isn't just talking about change, he's engineering it from the ground up, dismantling barriers that have stood for generations. His visionary approach has transformed countless lives, creating pathways where none existed before. What makes Leon truly exceptional is his refusal to accept surface level solutions to deeply rooted problems. He challenges us all to look beyond quick fixes and address the systemic inequities that continue to shape our economic landscape. I want to take you on a journey today, one that might challenge what you believe about opportunity in America. We love to tell ourselves a particular story in this country. It's the story of the self made entrepreneur, the visionary who starts with nothing but determination and a dream, the underdog who, through sheer grit and relentless hustle, builds something extraordinary. This narrative is woven into the very fabric of our national identity. It's inspiring, it's uplifting, and it's dangerously incomplete. Here's a statistic that stopped me in my tracks during my conversation with Leon Moore. 77% of Black professionals aspire to become entrepreneurs, not just a few, not just a quarter. More than three-fourths of Black professionals dream of launching their own businesses. Let that sink in for a moment. That's an extraordinary reservoir of potential innovation, job creation, and economic transformation. That's millions of people who want to build, create, employ, and leave legacies. Yet when we look at the actual numbers of successful Black owned businesses, we see a stark disconnect between aspiration and reality. This isn't because of a lack of drive, it's not because of insufficient work ethic. It's because the playing field isn't level. It never has been. We've been operating under a collective delusion that desire and determination alone can overcome any obstacle. That if you just want it badly enough, if you just work hard enough, success is inevitable. This mythology ignores the very real, very concrete systemic barriers that Black entrepreneurs face every single day. Let me be clear, acknowledging these barriers isn't making excuses, it's recognizing reality. And as Leon emphasized to me, we cannot solve problems we refuse to see. The first major barrier is access to capital. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's often the difference between a business launching or remaining just an idea. During our conversation, Leon shared the story of Marcus, a brilliant software developer in Charlotte who had created an innovative healthcare application. Despite his technical expertise and a solid business plan, Marcus approached 17 different lenders before securing even partial funding. 17 rejections. Each time the feedback was vague: too risky, not enough collateral, insufficient track record. Yet when Marcus had a white colleague present the identical business plan, that colleague received preliminary approval from the second bank he approached. This isn't an isolated incident. Black entrepreneurs receive just 1% of venture capital funding. They're denied loans at twice the rate of white business owners. And when they do receive funding, they often face higher interest rates and more restrictive terms. The second critical barrier is representation and mentorship. As human beings, we're powerfully influenced by what we see as possible. When Leon asked a group of young Black students to name successful entrepreneurs they admired, almost none could name a Black business leader. How do you become what you cannot see? In Charlotte, North Carolina, A remarkable initiative is taking shape that addresses this exact problem. A new $3.7 million Black Business Hub is being developed specifically to support Black owned businesses and professionals. This isn't charity, it's strategic investment in untapped potential. When I spoke with Leon about this project, his eyes lit up. This hub isn't just a building, he told me, it's an ecosystem. It's a place where Black entrepreneurs can access networks they've historically been excluded from. It's where they can find mentors who understand both the universal challenges of entrepreneurship and the specific obstacles faced by Black business owners. The hub will provide dedicated space for networking, mentorship, and access to resources that have traditionally been difficult for Black business owners to obtain. The expected outcomes include increased business growth, job creation, and community empowerment. But perhaps most importantly, it creates visibility. It says Black entrepreneurship matters, Black business success matters, Black economic empowerment matters. The third barrier Leon identified is what he calls the network gap. Business success often depends heavily on who you know, who can open doors, make introductions, provide advice, or become early customers. Historically, Black entrepreneurs have had limited access to these powerful networks. Leon shared the story of Tasha, a talented chef who struggled for years to grow her catering business beyond small community events. Despite her exceptional food and service, she couldn't break into the lucrative corporate catering market. The turning point came when she joined a Black Business Alliance that connected her with other successful Black entrepreneurs. Through this network, she received not just moral support, but tactical advice, introductions to decision makers, and eventually her first major corporate contract. Today, Tasha employs 15 people and has a waiting list of corporate clients. Her story illustrates how access to the right network can be transformative. It wasn't that she became more talented or worked harder, she gained access to opportunities that should have been available to her all along. These barriers, capital, representation, and networks, aren't minor inconveniences. They're systematic obstacles that prevent talented entrepreneurs from realizing their potential. And here's what's crucial to understand: these barriers don't just hurt Black entrepreneurs, they hurt our entire economy, they hurt innovation, they hurt job creation, they hurt us all. When we allow these barriers to persist, we all lose out on the businesses that never launch, the jobs that never get created, the innovations that never come to market, and the wealth that never gets generated and circulated in communities. But here's where hope enters the picture. Because as Leon showed me, there are powerful solutions emerging that are changing the landscape for Black entrepreneurs. Beyond the Charlotte Hub, Leon highlighted innovative approaches to addressing the capital gap. Community development financial institutions are creating alternative funding sources that don't rely solely on traditional banking systems. Impact investors are specifically targeting funds to Black owned startups. Crowdfunding platforms are democratizing access to capital. One particularly innovative program Leon described helps Black entrepreneurs improve their credit scores while simultaneously connecting them with alternative financing options. The program has helped over 200 businesses secure funding in its first 2 years of operation. On the representation front, there are growing efforts to create mentorship programs and highlight successful Black entrepreneurs. These initiatives aim to increase confidence and success among aspiring Black business owners by providing the guidance and inspiration that comes from seeing others who look like them succeed. Leon shared how one such program pairs established Black business owners with aspiring entrepreneurs for a year-long mentorship. The results have been remarkable, with 68% of participants successfully launching businesses compared to a 38% success rate for those without mentors. These solutions aren't just beneficial for Black entrepreneurs, they're essential for our entire economy. When we remove barriers to entrepreneurship for any group, we unlock innovation, create jobs, and build stronger communities. We all benefit when talent can flourish unimpeded by systemic obstacles. But here's the challenging question that Leon posed during our interview: how can we collectively work to dismantle these systemic barriers? How do we ensure that the 77% of Black professionals who aspire to entrepreneurship have a genuine opportunity to succeed? This isn't just a question for policymakers or business leaders, it's a question for all of us because creating change requires collective action at multiple levels. For individuals, it might mean mentoring aspiring entrepreneurs, intentionally supporting Black owned businesses, or advocating for more inclusive policies in your workplace or community. For organizations, it might mean examining hiring and promotion practices, supplier diversity, or investment decisions through the lens of equity and inclusion. For policymakers, it might mean addressing historical inequities through targeted programs, reforming lending practices, or investing in community development. The path forward requires both acknowledging the reality of systemic barriers and committing to dismantling them. It requires moving beyond good intentions to concrete actions. It requires sustained effort rather than sporadic attention. As Leon emphasized, this work isn't about charity or handouts. It's about creating fair conditions where talent and determination can actually lead to success. It's about removing artificial obstacles that have nothing to do with ability and everything to do with access. I stand before you today with a challenge. Reject the comfortable myth that opportunity is equally available to all who seek it. Have the courage to see the barriers that exist, even if you haven't personally experienced them, and then take action, whatever action is available to you from your position of influence, to help dismantle those barriers. Because when we create conditions where all entrepreneurs can succeed based on their talents and efforts rather than their race or background, we don't just create more successful businesses, we create a more just, innovative, and prosperous society for everyone. The true measure of our commitment to entrepreneurship isn't how we celebrate those who've already succeeded, it's how we clear the path for those still striving to begin. It's time we put as much energy into creating equal opportunity as we do into celebrating the myth that it already exists. Thank you.